103.9 The Fox, brought to you by Fick Landscape Supplies. If there's work to be done around your home or business, Fick can help. Tons of driveway material, the finest topsoil, compost, and humus around. 18 varieties of decorative stone, and they do deliver. 2 locations to serve you. Find out more at ficklandscapesupplies.com and like them on Facebook. Now let's get Fick and busy. Mid-Michigan again, the focus of the presidential campaign, as former President Trump plans to campaign Thursday in Saginaw at SVSU's Writers Center, while Vice President Harris is planning to come to Flint on Friday, although details of that appearance are still being finalized. Longshore workers at ports from Maine to Texas walked off the job at midnight in what experts believe could be the most disruptive strike to the economy in decades, affecting everything from clothing to toys and household goods. Genesee County hypnotherapist to spend at least 15 years in prison. 73-year-old John Tomlinson sentenced yesterday for sexual assault crimes related to incidents that happened in his Grand Blanc Township office between 2K13 and 2K17. That's when several women claim the 73-year-old Tomlinson assaulted them while under varying degrees of incapacitation. Governor Whitmer ordering U.S. flags statewide lowered to half staff today to honor the former congressman from Michigan, Dave Kersen, who passed away recently at the age of 75. His funeral is today. Lions beat the Seahawks 42-29 last night to go into their bye week with a 3-1 record. Tigers open the wild card playoff series with the Astros in Houston this afternoon. That one starts at 2:30. Red Wings split their squad in preseason hockey last night, losing to the Penguins 5-1 at Little Caesars Arena, while the other half of the team was on the road, losing in Buffalo to the Sabres 4-3 in overtime. And to cap this one off, former President Jimmy Carter turning 100 today. He's the oldest living president and has been in hospice care since February 2K23. That's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox. Starting off with some patchy fog this morning to perhaps hinder your commute. Then it's overcast skies remaining and bringing some showers this afternoon, perhaps even a thunderstorm. 73 for a high today with light and variable winds becoming northwesterly later this morning at 6 to 11 miles an hour, gusting at times to 20. Any showers we get are expected to move out by the evening hours as the skies gradually clear and temps slide all the way down to 43 or thereabouts overnight. Then it's plenty of sunshine tomorrow, temps settling in at around 68. Thursday, more sun and 74. Right now it's 63 in Flint. In Saginaw, 64.
Don't forget that watch party coming up on October 13th when the Lions come back from their off week next week. They are going to be playing the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas, but you can go watch it at Ford Field. General public is invited. Check it all out and enjoy it. Big watch party at Ford Field for the Lions-Cowboys game coming up on October 13th.
Welcome, one and all, to TikTok Tuesday. Good morning. It is the first day of October. Can you believe it? We've already gotten that far. Dale's here. American Dan is here. Arizona and West Virginia, thus respectively, being represented by some of our favorite American folks. And of course, we have an international crowd joining us usually on TikTok Tuesdays that come from far and wide simply because TikTok tends to move you over here. Because of the fact that they want you to be exposed to all kinds of things that maybe being locked onto your For You page won't give you the opportunity to find. If you're sitting there watching cat videos all day long, you won't realize that there's some kind of cool stuff going on, like behind-the-scenes looks at live morning radio shows, and that's what we've got going on here. This is Flint, Michigan, USA, which is the home of the formerly Crappy Water and the home of one great classic rock radio station. This one, it's 103.9 The Fox with Johnny Burke and Steph Barber, and we'll hear from them shortly. Tina, our live and local New Jersey correspondent, is here. Good morning, Tina. Thoughts on the debate tonight, says Nate. The fact that they're going to not mute the mics is kind of curious. That's might be something. That usually ends up in a shout fest, though. There's positives and negatives to that whole rule. But anyway, I don't know that anybody necessarily makes their mind up based on a debate who they're gonna support anyway. I mean, you pretty much by now have your mind made up one way or the other. Very few are going to be thought of swaying one way or the other, but whatever happens tonight. Anyway, first day of October, and thus it is National Hair Day. National Hair Day today. Wish I could participate more than I am, but I used to. I used to be able to participate quite a bit. Now, see, I said international audience, and no more international do we get than we slide all the way down the other side of the world. Mel Mel is here. Good evening, Mel Mel, who's into the deep part of the nighttime hours of a springtime in Australia, in Queensland. Welcome to Mel Mel. How are you? Good to see you. And everybody who is here now is going to be able to derive the benefit of our Smile Source today, because we do this every day. A lot of you, most of you are new. Most of you are just here because you just kind of were pushed here. But now that you're here, please stay. We'd love to have you here for more than 5 seconds, because you know what? This is a bunch of cool people that hang out here, and you can chat with them. You don't even have to chat with me. I'm telling you what. Am I on radio, asks Casey. The answer to that is yes, I am. I'm from my home studio, though. I'm not actually in the main studio. I'm several miles to the north of the main studio, and we'll hear from them down there in a minute or two. But I'm providing news and traffic, and for this next hour or so, I generally spend most of my time and focus chatting with you, so that we can find out what's going on in your world. You don't need to know necessarily what's going on in mine. Let me show you, although I'll tell you if you're interested. I will show you a Welsh Corgi. I think these are some of the coolest breeds of dogs. Welsh Corgis. This one is Rufio, who lives in Marietta, Georgia. Rufio, we want you to meet from the pumpkin patch. Since this is October, everybody's thinking about Halloween and all things that are pumpkin-y, pumpkin spice, pumpkin decorations, jack-o'-lanterns being carved, all that kind of thing. Right there. That is Rufio. Great name for a dog. Let's see if they're going to just play music, or what are we going to do? Let's find out. Okay, they're just going to play another song. I'm never sure. Sometimes they go right from a music into another song like they're doing. Other times they want to just chat and talk about all kinds of cool things. They're all happy because, and with good reason, because the Lions won last night. We are the official area radio station carrying the Lions radio broadcasts. And for the first time in, well, about 60 years, the Lions actually have a team that is expected to contend, and I mean contend strongly, for a Super Bowl berth, which they've never had before. Never before have they played in the Super Bowl in all the years that the Super Bowls existed. Lions have never played in it. They're the only team that's been a franchise from the beginning of the Super Bowl era to now that's never actually played in it. It's crazy. Just crazy. Let's see who we got here. I can't tell what those words are. That's one thing about this, is that the type size is so small, very, very difficult to ascertain what some of you are saying. But I do appreciate the fact you're all here. Thank you so much for taking the time in your day, whatever point of the day you are. For Mel Mel, it's finishing up. For us, we're just kind of, everybody's getting started, trying to wake up, just kind of getting going. And the folks who follow us, special shout out and salute to you. We appreciate that, because we enjoy having you here and hope that you constantly come back. We have found over the years, and we've done this live stream for 9 of these years, that once you get here and you hang here, many times we're an acquired taste. You don't get us the first 5 minutes that you're with us. But over the course of a couple of days, and all of a sudden, bam, it's a kind of a fun thing you can't afford to miss, is what it finds out that you find out it is. Tosh is here with a Pembroke Corgi. Oh, those are cool. Pembroke Corgis are cool. This is the thing about it, is that dogs, I've never run into a situation yet where I see a dog in public and I don't start smiling. It just makes me do that. Dogs of all kinds and all temperaments, from the friendly kind to the kind I have. I have for those who don't know, and it's most of you, I have a psycho dog by the name of Jacko, who came off the streets of Saginaw, Michigan as a stray with absolutely no known history. I don't know what the hell kind of things are going on in his head, but he really seems to me like a soldier returning from Nam. He's got these flashbacks of his war days. Every time he goes out into the public, the only time he's relaxed and chill is when he's here at home. Once he goes out in the world, it's them against him. Every single minute of every single day. Tina says, and rightly so, we got class. We do. Her name is Ellie Mae. Tasha's a Pembroke Corgi named Ellie Mae. Cool. Like that. If Ellie Mae is listening or watching, Hi, and stay the hell off of the couch. Ellie Mae, you know the rules at home. I assume Mom doesn't let you on the couch. Mel Mel's been watching the videos with the dog. Well, I hope you're thoroughly entertained because he's not really out there to do that. He's really out there to protect me whenever we go out in the public. In fact, that's the problem. We go out in the public to walk. Normally, that's an experience that is very, very nice, relaxing, calm for both the dog and the dog owner. At least that's the intent. When we go out, we have to look out for each other's backs. That's the only thing. No, yes, and in bed. Oh, that's where that's where Ellie Mae is right now, is in bed. I got you. Okay. But that's the thing. He's always looking out for me. He's looking for the next dog or person that might be a threat to me, and so he's growling and barking at the world. And I'm always looking for the thing that is going to get him in trouble around here because he growls and barks at the world. Everybody in the world around here knows his reputation. He has had himself, over the course of the last year and a half, plenty of chance to get known to the entire neighborhood simply because he announces it to the neighborhood. I'm out here, stay the hell away from me, stay the hell away from my dad, and if you don't, you're going to pay the consequence. He wanted to take on 3 dogs at once this past Saturday. 3. And he doesn't care. He's just he's a Jack Russell Pit Bull mix. Last time he was weighed, he was less than 21 pounds. I know he's more than that now, because that was a year and a half ago. But he's still way smaller than 3 dogs, 2 of which were bigger than he was, that he was going to take on. Every damn day, taking him for a walk, and it's usually 2 walks a day, is an adventure and a half. And it kind of is like going through a war zone that he apparently lived through once in his life. Because once he came here, it's all different for him, but nobody knows exactly to what degree. I don't know what the hell he went through before he got here. Okay, your Maggie Chihuahua girl is curled up in bed. I see. Well, isn't that nice? This is a nice time of morning. If you're in Arizona, that's real early anyway. Should be curled up in bed. Nobody in their right mind should be up this early in the morning to listen to Johnny and Steph or anything.
10230-9777. I'll sign you up to win the Fox Ultimate Whitetail Hunt. This is going to be a big one. If you're the 9th caller, you get it. You're the caller number 1. You're caller number 2. You are caller number 3. You're number 4. Number 5. Yeah, we're going to do this right now. We've got so many prizes to give away. We got to do it. You're number 6. You're number 7. Sorry. Caller number 8. So sorry. 103.9 The Fox.
Hello, Johnny.
Hey, who's on our phone?
This is Troy.
Troy? Where you calling from?
I am calling from Davison at the moment.
Nice. Are you a hunter?
I am, of course.
Well, this works out nicely, though. You are caller 9.
If he wasn't a hunter, why would he be calling?
Well, I don't know.
But you know what? Actually, you're right, because he could give it as a gift to somebody.
Absolutely. You can't tell me, too, that deer hunters don't go hunt deer to get away from their wives. I am firmly convinced that it's not so much about the deer as it is just about the getaway.
Whoa.
Call me cynical.
Whoa. She just threw you under the bus.
Listen, I threw all mankind under the bus.
Oh, man. All right, so what's your name?
Troy Kid.
Troy, where are you calling from? You said Davison right now. What are you driving around?
Dropping the kids off in school.
All right, good.
Hi.
Hi, kids. How you doing? You want to mention their names?
That is Miss Jocelyn.
Jocelyn.
Very good. Jocelyn, go and do good today, all right?
Pay attention to the teachers.
Pay attention or you'll spend your morning calling radio stations trying to win prizes, too. Congratulations, sir. You are signed up to win our Ultimate Whitetail Hunt. Today's the first day of bow hunting season, so it's kind of appropriate that you did it today. We've got the folks from the deer outfitters who are going to, the dog outfitters, excuse me, who are going to hook you up along with 103.9 The Fox with the Ultimate Whitetail Hunt. If you win this thing, you get 5 days and 4 nights in Millersburg, Michigan. I don't know if you've ever been. I go there quite a bit. It's a great place. You're going to love it. Right up there at the top of the mitten. So congratulations and good luck. October 21st at Captain's Quarters Lounge is our big giveaway party. You're going to be invited to that. Congratulations and good luck from 103.9 The Fox.
Thanks, guys.
Talk to me.
Why was he giving away that prize? Because here in Michigan, where deer hunting is huge, this is the first day. October 1st is the first day of bow hunting season. So folks are going out into the woods to hunt deer with the bow and arrow. November the 15th is the next date that's being circled on the calendar because that will be the opening of rifle season. And that is kind of like a national holiday in this state. So they're giving away other of those prizes, which is a chance to win this great big all-expense-paid hunting thing in the woods. The other thing they're giving away today, and they're giving away in great numbers. Good morning, Cindy. Finally got to see us again on a Tuesday. Yeah, we've been away for a while because of any number of assorted problems, most of them technical related. Modern day equipment isn't always what it's cracked up to be. But what was I starting to say? The fact that hunting is such a big deal around here. And so the 15th of November is going to be the next one where people are looking forward to that. And the other thing that's going on is the fact that the Lions won last night, and they scored 6 touchdowns in the process of winning that game against Seattle. There is a local furniture store that is giving away gift certificates in the form of $103.90, 103.9, right, to winners who call in various times in the morning, and it is one certificate for every single touchdown the Lions scored last night. So since they scored 6, there are 6 of those certificates being given out today. And indeed, it was quite the game. I did not see more than about half of the first quarter of it. It happens when you got to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning. You don't tend to watch a whole lot of evening sports, which is part of the reason why it's a good thing that the Tigers are playing in the playoffs today for the first time in 10 years, and they're playing this afternoon. Their game starts at 2:30 Eastern Time. So we're looking forward to actually being able to see a game start to finish. Looking at a couple of problems that are brand new. Argentine Township, one of them. This is the 8200 block of Silver Lake Road that we have a crash reported there. Another one, this is a serious one involving injury in Grand Blanc Township, 6000 block of Porter Road over by Quest Diagnostics. And the other problem that we've been working on for a while now, they're still cleaning up in Flint, the crash at Miller Road and Ballinger Highway. All of the freeways are right now crash-free and delay-free. Might run into patchy fog at some points, and that might limit some visibility, so know that if you're just starting out. And also know that if you spot a traffic slowdown, we invite you to tell us about it at 810-230-WRSR. That's 810-230-9777. And remember, your Vehicle City traffic information is always updated throughout the day for you at classicfox.com/traffic. Be a traffic tipster on 103.9 The Fox.
More opportunities to sign up for the Fox Ultimate Whitetail Hunt coming up at 11:10 and 5:10. And, of course, more chances to win coming up this morning for those $103.90 gift cards from Fenton Home Furnishings in honor of all the Lions touchdowns yesterday from our quarterback. All that still to come here on the Fox Hall Morning Show. Stay where you are.
Okay, Sheila didn't watch it all the way to the end either. Okay, let me ask you this. For those who did watch it, even if you watched 1 or 2 plays, just enough to know what it looked like, what was going on at Ford Field last night. Standout crowd, standing room only crowd, standout level of noise. From a fashion standpoint, this is a deep departure from the way the Lions uniforms usually look. What we saw last night. Black jerseys, metallic blue helmets with black Lions logo on each side. What did you think of those uniforms as a look, which is such a departure from the Honolulu blue jerseys, the silver helmets with the blue logo that you have on the sides and the blue stripes, and sometimes the blue pants, sometimes the silver pants. What did you like or not like? Cindy thought they looked fantastic. Sheila also liked them. Okay? Because that kind of is the thing for teams nowadays, is to be able to alter their look. Back when I was growing up and watching sports, you knew what the team was going to look like every single game. Home and away, you know what those teams look like because they never veered from that look. Every team had a home uniform, every team had an away uniform, and that was the case in all sports. Now, you've got all kinds of, you got an entire closet full of, in fact, you probably have, if you are a professional athlete, your locker where the uniforms are is probably much more well stocked than Taylor Swift's wardrobe in what they have to wear. Because of, and primarily because of marketing. That gives more opportunities for the team to market those alternate looks. Sometimes it's a third jersey. Sometimes there are 4, 5, or 6 alternate looks. Basketball has different ones depending upon whatever city you're playing in. For the Pistons, the Motor City. If it's in some other, it's Rip City. One of those other kind of things. And then, of course, Tina, who's a Mets fan, she's all pumped because the Mets got in yesterday. That's a weird thing that the Mets and Braves had to play a doubleheader yesterday. Both had to play because that had a bearing on who went to the playoffs and who didn't. And both of those teams, by winning, went to the playoffs. So they were both able to celebrate even though they lost a game. They were both able to jump around and pour champagne on each other even though they lost a game, because by winning at least one game in that doubleheader, the Mets qualified for the National League postseason and the Braves qualified for the National League postseason, and the Arizona Diamondbacks, who were way off in the distance in another state, couldn't play, couldn't do anything about it. They had to hope that one of those teams was swept in that doubleheader. Otherwise, they would be out, and guess what? They're out. So there's that. It's weird these days in sports. Lost a couple of big names in sports, both of whom died yesterday. Pete Rose, all-time baseball hits leader, banned from the game for wagering on his sport, expressly forbidden and always has been in baseball. He defied the rules and he paid for it. He never got into the Hall of Fame despite being the all-time hits leader. Dikembe Mutombo, the basketball star, who was also quite the humanitarian, died at 58 of brain cancer.
Johnny and Steph morning show here, the Fox Soul morning show on the air. And of course, that means Steph's Fox Flashback is only about 10 minutes away, and you'll have a chance to win. You got a choice of prizes, including those $103.90 gift cards. We're flush with this morning because the Lions scored 6 touchdowns yesterday. Fenton Home Furnishings, of course, supporting our Detroit Lions broadcast by giving us these gift cards for each and every touchdown they score, and we have to give them away on the next Fox Soul Morning Show, which happened to be this morning after last night's huge win, 42-29 over the Seattle Seahawks. We have 6 of them in all to give away. We've already given away 2, right?
Yes.
And you will have as one of your prizes that you get to choose on Steph's Fox Flashback, same thing. So stick around for that and more opportunities to call in and win. By the way, it's not the only football that's happening in the area. High school football is a big deal around here. Friday Night Lights, if you will, rather. And we want to congratulate all our winners last week. Burton Bendel beating Burton Bentley. You know that's a big rivalry.
Yeah.
22-12 last Friday night. Davison just kicked Saginaw United's butt right back to Saginaw.
Good for Davison.
57-0.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a spanking, isn't it?
And another spanking. Goodrich over Owasso, 48-6. Flushing had a 60-0 score over Holly. Yeah, we're doing good here, Mid-Michigan. Corunna beat Lake Fenton 41-19. There's a lot of high-scoring games.
Yeah.
And Imlay City topped Algonac 23-22. It was a very close game there, but a lot of nice winning scores for our Mid-Michigan teams last week. Congratulations to all of them. We keep an eye on that for you, too, here on the Fox Soul Morning Show. We're all about football. At least I am. You're starting to be.
I am starting to be.
Slowly but surely, Steph is becoming a football fan. Now, this Lions team is worth it. I don't know if you saw those uniforms they were wearing last night, but
I did not.
they are. Those are pretty cool. People buying those. I'll guarantee you that's good. After last night, I'll bet you the sales on those jerseys go right through the roof today.
I bet.
It's going to be amazing.
And all of the Detroit Tigers T-shirts they haven't been able to sell.
Well, they've been able to sell them the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before that, they haven't been able to sell them. Yeah, it's been tough. Of course, I still don't even have one. I have no Lions
I don't either.
wearable stuff right now.
No.
My wife does, but I don't. I've got to get out and get some. get out and get some hearing testing going on.
He's going to talk about his the hearing aids that he espouses now. So there we are talking about the uniforms that the Lions wore last night that you guys seem to like. You guys seem to enjoy those. They used to, years ago they had black jerseys. Back in the days when they were still terrible, which wasn't that too many years ago, but we're talking about the early 2000s when they were under the realm of new management or different management. There was really incompetent management as far as I can see, and the results bear that out. But the one decision that I thought that they made, which was good, was that they switched to these occasionally black jerseys that they wore. And I was on top of liking those when a lot of people were criticizing them. So I thought it was cool that they came back with them and are now being embraced. Because psychologists have said that many times black can be looked upon as an intimidating color. If you're talking about playing a collision sport, like a football or maybe a hockey, basketball to a degree, but any kind of collision sport, if you are wearing black, you can be psychologically intimidating to your opponent. And so that kind of helped, I think, the Lions at times. And in the past, and does now, and will continue. I'm sure they're going to wear those black jerseys again a few times. Mel says that Katy Perry performed at the grand final football match last Sunday. Now, we're talking football in your terms, which means soccer. Here in our country, we don't call it football. We call it soccer. There's this major debate going on between two sides of the world over what it should be called. It's rumored she was paid $5 million. Katy Perry for that one appearance? I can see that. She's a superstar in her own right, and then, of course, she's kind of gone to that next level by being on the American Idol show for so long. AFL. You call that, is that like Australian Football League? Is that what that means? It's soccer, Mel. Real football is what the Lions played last night against the Seattle Seahawks. Absolutely. Absolutely. Soccer. And it's something that we in the United States have tried to get into for decades, and for whatever reason haven't been able to do it. We send our kids out to play soccer because, one, it's cheap. It doesn't require a whole lot in terms of equipment. If you have a ball and a pair of shorts, you can go out and play. Doesn't require a whole lot of strategy if you're a kid who's 7, 8 years old. Just go where the ball is. Try to find the ball and kick it. There's not a whole lot to that part of it. And then, of course, as you go up through the ranks, strategy becomes a thing, skill becomes paramount, and you end up being as revered as particularly the women's national team is here. More so than the guys. The women have had the headlines here in the United States when it comes to professional soccer or international soccer. The football that jumps up in the air. Yeah, and that you hit with your head a lot of times. Kind of like, that's also something that, unlike some other sports, is thought by health experts to promote brain issues over time if you head the ball too often. Sometimes that is a desired skill and, in fact, a required skill in the game over time if you head the ball too often. Sometimes that is a desired skill and, in fact, a required skill in the game, very highly valued skill in the game, but over the course of time can come back to be a detriment to people. One thing I noticed too, and since we're talking about sports, and I'm going to just talk a little bit more about it here, and then I want to get off it for a minute because I got something else I wanted to ask you about. But here on TikTok, where we spend all of our Tuesdays. By the way, I should probably sidetrack a second and let you all know, because so many of you are new, that this live stream that we're doing right now, which is where we hang out with the people called the Hal Raisers. My name is Hal, and people who have been loyally with us on a regular basis, no matter where we've been on live stream, and it's been many places over 9 years' time, are called the Hal Raisers. And on Mondays, we have this live stream emanating from my Facebook live feed Tuesdays like today, it's always TikTok Tuesday. Tomorrow we will be on Twitter, or now they call it X, so it's X Twitter. We'll be there tomorrow again, and we start at around 7 a.m. Eastern time. Go for about an hour. Thursday, we go to my Instagram page, which is found at halmoss_news, and Moss is MAAS, news_news. And if you look there and you follow that page, you will be notified when we do go live. And then on Fridays, we simul-stream. We go on both Twitch and on Facebook. So that's the regular rotation. Mondays, Facebook. Tuesdays, TikTok. Wednesdays, it's X Twitter. Thursdays, Instagram. And then Fridays, it's Twitch and Facebook simultaneously. But if you go there, whatever happens is the people on Facebook are only going to see the Facebook comments. People on Twitch are only going to see the Twitch comments. That's the only detriment to doing it that way. There's no common chat room that everybody can see what everybody's saying so that you can enjoy the conversation. Because I keep trying to let you guys know, you guys are more interesting when you're conversing with each other rather than when you're talking to me. Here's Johnny and Steph talking to us. Actually, they're not talking at all. They're playing more music. Which is fine as long as we're here, because TikTok does not have anything against playing copyrighted material. They don't have these rules, at least not the stringent ones. They have a few little light rules against it, but not enough that we're going to be violating them. However, when this particular get-together is over, I then try to upload the live stream that we did in replay form up to my YouTube page. And YouTube does have copyright rules that sometimes we violate, and when we do, I have to edit all that crap out. Otherwise, they don't let us keep that particular video up. I've had that happen to me several times. But as I started to say earlier, before I got sidetracked 4 different ways, good morning to all of you who are joining us for the first time, and we hope that you'll let all of your friends know that we're here, because it can be a good time. And if they know that you're here, and you endorse what we're doing, then they'll probably come over and have a good time with it too, because they'll know you're here. You can talk to them. You don't have to be bored by me. You can talk to anybody on here that you want from wherever. You can talk to Tina in Jersey, where they don't even pump their own gas, believe it or not. It's the one state that doesn't allow you to pump your own gas. You can talk to Mel Mel, who is in Queensland in Australia, who is right now celebrating spring. Flowers are coming up. Everybody's all optimistic. It's not like we are here where it's like, oh crap, winter's coming. Because it's the autumn season here. Like we are here where it's like, oh crap, winter's coming. Because it's the autumn season here. And anywhere in between that you can do. One of the people that started joining us here on TikTok, I doubt she's up and I doubt she's going to be watching us, but she can if she wants, because she's just started to follow us this past weekend, is one of Caitlin Clark's basketball teammates on the WNBA's Indiana Fever, who just set all kinds of attendance records this season with the influx of these rookies led by Caitlin Clark and some of the others that came in. And one of the earlier successes in this particular revolution that is the WNBA's new wave of athletes coming in is a gal by the name of Lexi Hull, who was the three-point shooting leader in the WNBA, and she started following this account this past weekend. I'm glad, and I'm welcoming her anytime she wants to join us. She also has I think it's a golden doodle that she has, possibly a labradoodle, but I think it's a golden doodle. And I think the reason why she's following is because I asked her a question about this well-behaved dog. Very well behaved, and when she does a TikTok, occasionally she will feature that dog on it, and she showed how well behaved this dog is. And I asked her a question about how she got that dog to be well behaved, simply because I'm so jealous. Jacko is such a jerk when he gets in public that I'm really looking up to and respecting the people who have dogs that are well behaved. And Lexi has this dog that she has that is very well behaved, particularly a breed that I have been led by trainers to believe is one of the 5 toughest dog breeds to train. Here's Johnny and Steph once again. It's tough to train Johnny, too. If you ever listen to him, you'll find that out.
The prize choices this morning, one of those $103.90 gift cards we have to give away today from Fenton Home Furnishings, and there are 4 locations in Fenton, Waterford, Lapeer, and Frankenmuth, supporting the Lions on the Fox this year by giving us a gift card for every Lions TD, and there were 6 of them last night. We've already given 2 of those away. 4 more to go?
Yes.
And one of them could be right now with Steph's Fox Flashback in just a couple of minutes here. On the Fox, it's 7:33. From the Silwaukee.
All right, we're gonna after they get done with their commercials, we'll do traffic, and then Steph's gonna have her Fox flashback. Steph is kind of expert at classic rock music and classic rock artists who play it, and so she goes into the music vault here in our studio and comes out with a song that was popular, but for whatever reason didn't catch on strongly enough so that you hear it all the time, like some of the other music that you hear regularly in rotation. And she'll bring one of those out, dust it off, and play it, and then give you some type of a trivia question about that song or somebody who played that song. So listen for that and see if you are one of those who is expert enough in this music genre that you can actually answer her question. While I'm sorting out what's going on with the traffic here, and then after that, got something else I want to ask you about. Thanks again to all those who are joining us for the very first time. Like Go Ghana, good to see you. William, Mrs. Jackie, both of you, glad to see both of you, and all of you who have decided to follow us. Thank you so much. Please invite all your friends and family and co-workers and anybody who lives on your block and anybody who's getting set to celebrate Halloween. I posted on my Instagram stories yesterday some of the ways people are celebrating Halloween in our neighborhood around this general area with some of their elaborate decorations. Because people really get into decorating for Halloween around here, more so than Christmas, amazingly.
And we passed the largest tax cut for working families in our state's history.
That too. Kristen McDonald Rivet for Congress. From mid-Michigan, for mid-Michigan.
I'm Kristen McDonald Rivet, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Kristen for Michigan. Divorce, custody, support.
Oh.
Tell a man he has a serious problem. You can try to solve your problem by
Tina needs to check that out. Oh, yeah. Oh, the Halloween stuff, yeah. The one house really went, they go really elaborate every year. This year they even ratcheted up more than in past years. You can barely see the lawn for the amount of stuff that's on it.
business owners, doctors, blue-collar workers, and men just like you for over 20
They
years.
really get into it. And if I was on yesterday, I don't think you got to see us, Tina, because you weren't aware we were on, I guess, and didn't get notified, apparently. But we went by there over the weekend while this lady was putting some of these decorations up on her lawn. And she had most of it done already, and I complimented her about how nicely she'd done on it. And she liked it and was surprised to get the compliment. She was happy to get the compliment, but I think she was a bit surprised at it. I'm not sure that maybe people have appreciated her, told her that they appreciate what she does. Several problems that we're paying attention to this time around. Fenton Township, we have a crash along the 13,100 block of Hogan Road. That's going to be a slowdown spot for there. Argentine Township, the Silver Lake Road location by the PD. This is the 8,200 block of Silver Lake Road. A crash reported there. Serious one in Grand Blanc Township along Porter Road by Quest Diagnostics. It's going to be nearby Porter and Hill. And we're still cleaning one up in Flint. Mill Road at Ballinger Highway earlier was a problem. Still is. We're still cleaning that one up. If you spotted the traffic slowdowns, let us know at 810-230-WRSR. That is 810-230-9777. And remember that Vehicle City traffic info is always updated for you throughout the day at classicfox.com/traffic. Be a traffic tipster right here on 103.9 The Fox.
The Fox Home Morning Show on 103.9 The Fox. Steph's Fox Flashback.
On June 28th of 1996, this band played along with Alice in Chains. They actually opened the first night of the Alive Worldwide Tour featuring Kiss back at Tiger Stadium. Remember Tiger Stadium?
Yeah, I went there many times for opening day,
I did too. Happy memories. And, they've made several appearances on late night television as well, including Jon Stewart twice.
Hello, Scott Kittery, Maine. Good to see you always.
They had regional success.
Talking about
here,
dog training. There's
but
somebody
never
to talk
really
with
made it
about
big
that.
nationally. So let's get into it. From Detroit and by request, this may be our first on the Fox. It's Sponge with Plowed on 103.9 The Fox.
Okay, since I just mentioned this, and I don't know if Kittery, Maine, if you heard me when I said this, but One of our newest followers here on TikTok is a professional basketball player with the WNBA who has, I believe it's a golden doodle. It's one of those doodle breeds that when she does TikTok broadcasts before she goes to play the games that night, or at least did. They've been knocked out of the playoffs, so she won't be playing until next season now. But she occasionally would feature this very well-behaved, I believe, golden doodle. And I had asked her a question about how she managed to get that dog to behave so well, because I had been led to believe by several trainers, perhaps yourself included, I don't remember, that those doodle, and I mean all the doodle breeds, whatever they are among the like top 5 most difficult breeds of dog to train. And I'm wondering if you concur with that. Tina thinks they are hard to train, the doodles. It was like number 5 in the list of top 5 that I saw up there. Like Shih Tzu was like right at the top. Try to get that right up at the top. So I was very happy to see that she has that. This dog is very, very nicely trained. And she only uses a one-word comment or command with many cases. And I'm wondering who taught her to have that. I asked that of her, and she never did answer the question, but then she responded by following my TikTok page, and still does, probably more for my dog Jacko than anything else. So Jacko, and I think if you've been here before, and you have, I remember you being here before in the past and hear me talk about smart but short attention span. I see, okay, so they have the ability to be trained, but you have to be able to get the message. It's kind of like the way things are now in social media advertising. You better get their attention in the first 2 or 3 seconds or you won't ever have their attention. Is kind of the way that works, right? Paparazzi, Patsy, hey, good morning. Good to see you. Because Jacko is one that is, man, once he locks onto something and he doesn't want to listen to you because he's so focused on attacking or taking down whatever that, and to him, the entire world is his foe except for everything that's going on here at home. That's the only place he's relaxed and chill. He gets outside in the world and it's just like one big war zone to him.
Include Sponge for Steph's Fox Flashback.
All right, now, Paparazzi Patsy did survive Helene. We were asking her last week about what was going to happen there. Neighborhood looks like a war zone. Ugh. How much property damage did you have to endure?
You are very, very welcome. I have seen them 3 times, and they've been tremendous all 3 times. I saw them at Lapeer Days, believe it or not,
Right.
back in the day.
No kidding.
Yeah, they showed up at the conference room in another station that I worked with, just out of the blue.
Wow.
Hey, can we play you guys? We invited a few listeners. We did it in the conference room. It was fabulous. And then a very happy memory. I went down to Pine
Let
Mountain
you in. You're here.
friends.
Maybe not. Hard to read that so small. But anyway, you're in. You're in with the group right here. We're the Hellraisers, and welcome. In Flint, Michigan, USA. Home of the formerly crappy water.
Because it was the only way they were going to get banned off the stage.
Right.
Everybody came out into the pavilion and continued to play.
Did they really?
They did. They did. Rebels without a cause, for sure.
Home was spared but lost almost all of
Came out, what,
your trees.
in the
Oh.
pavilion?
Yeah, but I mean,
With what, acoustic?
And the trees did not damage your home.
Wow.
and we could actually
That's
hear
a
them
lucky
on the
thing.
hill. It was
kidding.
pretty tremendous.
Wow.
All right, now with the contest, you'll need the phone number, 810-230-9777, and you are playing for 2 tickets for the Erebus Haunted House down in Pontiac. If you dare, we've got Grub from Jesters, a 4-pack of tickets for
And the
Birch
6th
Grove
day
Speedway
with
Event
no
Center
power.
for their last night
Do you have a
of
generator?
this evening's, or actually this week's racing on October 5th. And we have a $103.90 Benton Home Furnishings gift certificate.
A lot of
to give
positive
away.
vibes going to you.
Here is the question. What is the name of the only original member of Sponge? And just a hint, he is the front man.
Wow.
All right?
This is going to either be a die-hard rock fan or somebody who's really good at Googling fast.
Hey, good morning, the Fox. Do you have an answer?
Is it Benny Dombrowski?
It is. It is. I don't. Yeah, that's some tremendous 5G signal power there. Who are we talking to?
Yeah.
My name is Kathy.
Kathy, with a C or a K?
With a K.
All right, Kathy with the K. Did you hear your choices of prizes today?
There's the other problem, having trouble finding fuel for the generator. Ugh.
Sorry.
All right, we've got a pair of tickets for Erebus Haunted House, a $20 gift certificate for Jesters, a 4-pack of tickets for Saturday night racings at Birch Run Speedway and Event Center, or that $103.90 gift certificate for Fenton Home Furnishings.
I'm gonna. That's a hard one.
I know it is, isn't it?
I'll do Jesters.
All right. You hang on tight, Kathy. I'll get some info off the air. But who just hooked you up with Steph Sox Flashback?
103.9.
Perfect.
All right, Patsy, I don't remember if you told me what general area you live in. The question I have for you is this the first real heavy storm that's done major damage to your area, or have you been through this kind of thing to some degree before? This is the most horrifying thing you've ever experienced. Well, that answers that. Wow. Mel saying they had a cyclone a few years back in Australia, did not have a generator, and had no power for 3 weeks. So how did you manage? If you didn't have a generator, didn't have any power, how did you make it through those 3 weeks? A lot of neighbors that helped you out? I got to assume that there was a lot of nearby assistance from people that were acquaintances or friends or a combination of the two to make it through that. 3 weeks, wow. The only time we had any extensive power interruption and absence here that I remember was, let's see, Tin Food and Neighbors, I see, was back in 13. There was an ice storm right before Christmas. 3 days before Christmas, this major ice storm hit, and it knocked power lines down because it was so heavy. The ice on the wires knocked them down, knocked power out, and we had no power for, it was 3.5 days here, which sounds like nothing to you guys, like if you're going 3 weeks without it, 6 weeks, whatever. But 3.5 days here without power is, that's pretty major. And we didn't get it back until Christmas Day afternoon. Didn't have it at all on Christmas Eve. Didn't have it at all on Christmas morning. Got it back around 12:30 in the afternoon on Christmas Day. That was back in 2K13 because of this ice storm. And I remember we had a borrowed generator, and I remember having to go out at 4 a.m. in the morning each day to fill it with fuel. And I can imagine what it would be like if fuel was scarce to even use to supply that generator. And I can imagine what it would be like if fuel was scarce to even use to supply that generator. Lost the roof last August in Adelia, but this was the worst. Losing the roof's pretty major too, jeez. J.G. Bears remembers that. Remember the ice storm? That was tough. That was a tough time. Valdosta. Okay, there we go. I knew you were somewhere in the Georgia, Florida area. Valdosta. But I couldn't remember what specific city area that you mentioned to us. JG, you lost power also during the ice storm? For how long?
810-230-9777. They're giving us a gift card for every Lions touchdown scored this season. There were 6 of them yesterday. We've already given 4 of them away. And who's on line 1?
This is Warren.
Warren, you did it. You just got yourself one of those cards.
Oh, nice.
Fenton Home Furnishings, good at all their locations in Fenton, Waterford, Lapeer, and Frankenmuth. $103.90 and a gift card for
3 days, okay.
Congratulations, all in honor of the Lions. Did you watch the game last night?
Oh yeah, I'm feeling it today.
That is, I stayed up a little later than normal too watching it, and I'm kind of dragging ass stuff today. I've complained several times. I can't wait to get home. I've got a doctor's appointment, and after that, I'm going home and passing out. So.
Oh yeah, watch the Tigers.
Yeah, I'm going to watch that this afternoon, and I'll probably fall asleep to it. Yeah. Tigers against Houston, in Houston,
sure.
at the old Astrodome, is what I still call it. They've got some sponsor that's attached to it now. I don't know who it is this time around. That's why I called Pine Knob forever, because it kept changing. So this way I'm doing the same.
And now
thing.
another tropical
Sunday,
depression taking the same path as
Helene.
Helene. Oh,
Down there
wow.
to try and beat Houston today, and let's go Tigers. This is exciting time in Michigan right now.
Yeah.
All that's going on. All right, congratulations.
Tigers and blue.
We have 3 more of those $103.90 Fenton Home Furnishing gift cards to be given away here as the morning show wears on. Everybody else hang in there. You, sir, hold on, and we'll get your info off the air. It's 7:49 now. Good morning.
Diana, good morning to you. You lived without power for months with 3 little ones. Can do it again if you have to, and older now. It is an experience and a half. It's one of those things that's, I suppose it's like some of those real traumatic things that happen in life that it's probably okay you went through it one time because you proved to yourself you could, and you know, there are stories that come from it, but you never want to go through it again, kind of thing. Because when it's happening, you never know, one, how long it's going to go. And if you don't know how long it's going to take you to get to your destination, the trip always seems way longer, doesn't it? 3 days without power is plenty, says Kittery, Maine. You know, when I lived in Maine, I lived down south of Portland for a year. And that was another one of those where it got cold enough where you really kind of became a little bit antsy over the possibility of power outage there, because what happens if the power goes out and it's the middle of January? Because I'll tell you, I can remember living in Maine that one year. The fireplace was going 24/7 for days in the middle of winter. It got real cold. We were living right off of the Atlantic Ocean. Was literally in our backyard. You could hear the roar of that thing in the middle of the night. That was a pretty intimidating sound. That was something I'd never experienced before, because we happened to be renting a home which was right on like the beachfront over there that year. It's like, whew. All your life, on and off, you were a poor family of 9. Wow. There was something else I was going to talk to you guys about, but now we're running kind of out of time because we're getting close to news time here, about another 5 minutes. I'll bring it up, and then if you want to chat about it or say something, that's cool. But because I happened to see it yesterday on social media from a Gen Z creator, or somebody who actually just posted, who was complaining all up and down about the fact that she is going to be having to return to the office at her job. When we had the pandemic 4 years ago, and pretty much the whole world had to shut down for a while because of that, this worldwide pandemic. Everybody was in lockdown. Nobody could go to work. And when we finally got back to work, most people were doing it remotely, or at least in hybrid form, where you were going to be most of the time at home, working from home through your computer, commuting via Zoom meetings and all those other face-to-face kind of things you could do. Because you can still do that. This is the thing. You could still get your work done, other than if you are a policeman or a fireman or a doctor or a nurse or something. You could get most of your work done from home. We're doing it. I've been able to do it for 7 years. I'm basically in my home studio. I don't have to go to the station, which is only less than 20 miles away from here. But I'm still able to do it here. And a lot of jobs allow that. Well, more and more jobs are saying, we want you to come back to the office now. We're tired of this remote stuff. We think it promotes more camaraderie, more teamwork, probably more like-minded paths toward a company goal if we're together under the same roof. Bosses are starting to feel more that way now. They're saying pandemic's over for 4 years. Now it's time to come back to work in the office. And particularly the younger generation, the Gen Zers now, are saying, no way in hell I'm not going there. If I'm going to be required to, I'm quitting. I'm going somewhere else to work. And this female poster was basically in that mindset. She is going to quit her job if she in fact has to go back to come on, I gotta get this puzzle together here. No. Where the hell is my puzzle? Oh, here it is. This little thing that TikTok makes you do to keep your broadcast going for more than an hour by completing a puzzle. There we go. I think we got it. All right, now we're good. A lot of, and most of the responders to that post were on her side. Yeah, I don't want to go back to the office ever again, or if I do, no more than a couple of days a week. But the first person who answered is saying this generation is weak. This generation is weak. We never worked from home. We were always in the office. That's how you did things, which is true. It was. I mean, up until the pandemic, pretty much everybody was used to going to the office. But now we've gotten used to a different way of living, and a different generation is starting to come up into the workforce, which isn't used to 5-day commutes into the office. And we've got people here in the Flint, Michigan area who, when they go to their job at the actual location of the job, have to commute an hour or more, sometimes an hour and a half to get there. They come from the Flint area and they drive southbound on either US 23 or I-75, which generally go in the same direction, basically, into the Detroit area or somewhere around there where their job is. And they do that every damn day for sometimes decades before they retire. It's a whole different way of looking at work. Now, are you one of those who gets to work from home? And if so, is that where you want to stay the rest of your working days? Now, are you one of those who gets to work from home? And if so, is that where you want to stay the rest of your working days? Now, are you one of those who gets to work from home? And if so, is that where you want to stay the rest of your working days? Now, are you one of those who gets to work from home? And if so, is that where you want to stay the rest of your working days? In the office, you're not working. Patsy says they're spoiled and lazy. Sorry, but you said it. Spoiled and lazy. I'm telling you what, the older generation, the people who are in my group, are definitely those who are really kind of bug-eyed at the thought that people are so adamant about the idea that I will never work in an office. If I don't get to work from home, I ain't working, period, kind of thing. Now, Sheila's one of those who loves working from home. How long have you been doing that, Sheila? I know that you've been for a while doing it. We've talked in the past on other live streams about how you do work from home. But I don't think I've ever asked you how long you've been able to do that. I've been able to do that here under this arrangement because I'm not technically employed by the station. I'm an independent contractor, so that's why I'm not even required to be there. But I've managed to make this work for 7 years on their suggestion. I wasn't the one who brought it up when we first started doing this. It was their idea to do it. Maybe they don't want to associate with me. I don't know. But for 7 years, I've been able to do that. And then the pandemic hit, and now 4 years later, here we are. Back we go to the air. Johnny and Steph, who are working in the studio.
Oh.
I'll put you so sleep. Did you know that this is being done in the vice presidential debate will be tonight in the same studio that Captain Kangaroo was in.
Since 19, so you've been a good 5 years.
This is just some oddball stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So Mr. Green Jeans, Moose, Mr. Moose, was it? Mr. Moose or Moose? I don't remember.
Morning, Manuel.
Mr. Moose.
Welcome.
Bunny Rabbit, remember? And I'm trying to think of all the other characters that they had. The Grandfather Clock.
Uh-huh.
Maybe some of those things will make an appearance. It'll be more entertaining than the debate.
Right.
That would be
Chris
fun to
got those
watch.
shots that he needed. Welcome
It's,
to New
7:57
Mexico.
Here in the foxhole. Hey, you know what is fun? Flushing Farms is fun. I know because my family and I go there all the time. Flushing
Thanks for
Farms
those who
is
are
fun.
following us. I appreciate that very much. We picked up a lot of new followers, I noticed this morning, and we're just proud as hell. And hope that you are going to do just beyond following us. You're actually going to be able to be with us every Tuesday on TikTok when we're here, and follow us to some of the other live streams. Tomorrow we're going to be on X, Twitter, Thursday, Instagram, Friday, Twitch, and Facebook simultaneously. We're on all of those. And the same rotation holds true every single week. So every Tuesday, look for us to be here. Good morning, Sean.
Cider is just amazing. They have barrel train rides, bounce houses, and inflatable obstacle courses, a petting zoo, and the fresh donuts and cider, and the pumpkin patch, and the hay wagon rides, and all of that stuff, and the 3 corn mazes with over 17 acres and 7 miles of paths. All of this within sight of that picnic area I keep telling everybody about, where they have shaded areas, and they also have those fire ring areas so that you can sit there and watch the kids run around and just destroy themselves.
Spend all of that energy,
Exactly. Check it all out by going to FlushingFarms.com, or better yet, just pack the kids in the car and go over to Gillette Road this weekend. Flushing Farms. I believe Jeremy's going to be there noon till 2
We're in the
on
office,
Saturday.
I think you're right.
in office and out of office. The end of
Support the troops banner there for you to
1920 was full time at
It's
home.
underway at Flushing Farms on Gillette Road in Flushing. Don't miss it.
Boss says as
Check
long
it
as we
out
get
on
our work done,
FlushingFarms.com.
you're good to
Tell
stay
them we
home.
sent you over there.
Great
They even
boss.
have twilight runs through their corn mazes if you bring your own flashlight. Now, they have flashlights there,
Sure.
but they tend to run out of them. They don't have enough for everybody that wants to do this. So bring your own
Paparazzi is 70. Always went to work, even when you were about to die or sick as a dog. All right, news time now. 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox, brought to you by Fick Landscape Supplies. If there's work to be done around your home or business, Fick can help. Tons of driveway material, the finest topsoil, compost, and humus around, 18 varieties of decorative stone, and they do deliver. 2 locations to serve you. Find out more at ficklandscapesupplies.com and like them on Facebook. Now let's get thick and busy. Longshore workers at ports from Maine to Texas walked off the job at midnight in what experts believe could be the most disruptive strike to the economy in decades, affecting everything from bananas to clothing to toys and household goods. It is the union's first strike since 1977, and it centers around wages and automation. Vice presidential candidates meeting tonight in their one and likely only debate of the campaign. Democratic candidate Tim Walz to face Republican opponent J.D. Vance. Weekend police chase through a portion of Grand Blanc Township ended up with 3 people arrested, as according to MLive, a vehicle took off Sunday when a deputy tried to stop it after it was reported stolen. Resulting chase wound through Bicentennial Park and eventually into a nearby subdivision. Police arrested 2 men said to be from Durand, along with a Swartz Creek woman and another woman from Linden. It is goodbye to a couple of sports' biggest names. Baseball's controversial all-time hits leader Pete Rose died at the age of 83. He was banned from baseball for betting on the sport while employed as a manager following his playing days. Meanwhile, the NBA and its fans are mourning the passing of Hall of Famer Dikembe Mutombo, who had been battling brain cancer. He was 58. Lions a winner over the Seahawks last night at a very loud, boisterous Ford Field, 42-29. They go into the bye week 3-1. Tigers open their wild card playoff series in Houston this afternoon against the Astros. Red Wings split their squad for preseason hockey last night. They lost to the Penguins 5-1 at Little Caesars Arena. Other half of the team was on the road in Buffalo, losing in overtime to the Sabres 4-3. And to cap this one off, there were no winners in Powerball last night. That pushes the prize for tomorrow up to $275 million. That's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox. Starting off with patchy fog this morning to perhaps hinder the commute, and then overcast skies remaining for the rest of the day, bringing some showers this afternoon, possibly even a thunderstorm. 73 for the high today, with light and variable winds that become northwesterly late this morning at 6 to 11 miles an hour, gusting at times to 20. Any showers we get are expected to move out by the evening hours as the skies gradually clear, and temps will slide all the way down to around 43 overnight. Plenty of sunshine tomorrow, temperatures settling in at around 68, and then Thursday it's more sun and 74. Right now to 63 in Flint, and in Saginaw 62.
Medical Center Studios. This is the Fox Home Morning Show. Morris on Wasso.
Flint's Classic Rock Authority.
103.9.
3.9.
The Fox.
2 hours left of the morning show and 3 of those $103.90 gift cards to give away, so stick around. They can come up at any time. And by the way, I've got a question. Have you, do you use the Shoey?
Since I don't know what that is, I don't know
Then you
if I
must not
do.
know. Then you don't use it, probably.
Will you tell us about it?
I will tell you about it. It's strictly for women.
Oh,
The Shoey.
the shoey.
Yeah, I'll explain.
All right, paparazzi, thank you very much for hanging with us as long as you were able to, and all kinds of positive vibes in your direction to make things get back to something resembling normal as quickly as possible in that area hard hit by Helene. You did bring up, though, before we got into the news, the interesting little phrase that you go in even if you were about to. You did bring up, though, before we got into the news, the interesting little phrase that you go in even if you were about to die, that you'd still go into work. That's kind of like what the older older generations have been taught to do, and which brings up another debate, which is if you are sick, if you are feeling like you're about to die, is it advisable to actually still go into work, or should you take the day off and fear being ridiculed by your opponents, your co-workers who believe that you're just kind of skating on them and make them do all the work that you should be doing? Because we kind of, and I mean, here, whenever one of the members of the show are off for a day, they get razzed by the other ones for kind of, make some kind of flimsy excuse to not be here. They forget, kind of thing. That kind of thing. And I'm sure that goes on in offices everywhere nowadays. Should you or should you not go into work when you're feeling lousy? Because your performance obviously isn't going to be up to A level if you're really bad off physically or mentally or the combination of the two, and you might infect somebody else. You might go in with a cold and then go in and give it to somebody else, and then they're out for days or weeks on end. That's a hell of a debate to have to deal with. Let me quickly give you an opportunity one more time to smile at this fine fellow named Rufio, who is he is from Marietta, Georgia, Welsh Corgi. This is a Pembroke Welsh Corgi named Rufio. Got to smile at this one. There you go. Where Tina Jr. works, they send them home. Tina said, that's a good idea, particularly if it's management's idea to do that. Okay, that takes the pressure off of you as the worker to kind of feel, you don't feel as guilty if you don't go in. Now, some people have pride in their work, and it still kind of bugs them to not be there. But as long as management is the one who's giving you the idea to not be here because it's not helping us, if you're below standard physically and mentally, you're not really performing up to your A level, it's not going to help the company. But a lot of managers don't feel that way. I used to work for a radio station owner who thought, if you're dead, you better only miss 3 days at most. That was kind of the way it went with them. Okay, thank you very much for your attendance and your attention. And being here on a Tuesday, TikTok Tuesday, to start the month of October, which here in Michigan is the start of the bow hunting season. So everybody's all pumped up about that. That's why we're giving away these prizes, this ultimate hunting trip thing that's going on. So we'll do that more. And you, hopefully, if you don't live in Michigan or within the listening area, download that mobile app, 103.9, the Fox mobile app. You can listen to 24/7 classic rock music, the best you're going to find anywhere on the radio or on the live stream. And then come back and see us again either a week from today on TikTok Tuesday again, or move over with us to Twitch tomorrow, Twitter tomorrow. We're on Twitch Friday. Twitter tomorrow, Twitter tomorrow. That's where we're going to be starting at about 7 a.m. Eastern Time with our friends, the Hellraisers. Once again, some of you hopefully will be able to be there. Wherever you are watching us from today, thank you very much. Have a pleasant, peaceful, and productive Tuesday, or almost Wednesday if you're like in Mel Mel's territory, because they're pretty close to switching days now. And we will see you again, me, you, and a tub of mayonnaise. Thoughts? I hate mayonnaise. I hate mayonnaise. I don't want it on anything. I don't like it on a burger or a sandwich or a pizza or any other place you want to put it. So I don't think that would work out for us. Sorry. Have yourself a great rest of your day, okay? Okay. Switch this around. There we go.
This long white steak